Hi, welcome to episode 14 of Not Enough Thumbs. This week's movie we are reviewing is
1408 from 2007.
This episode is sponsored by
Once Upon a Co-op. What do you think?
So this movie was kind of a mystery slash thriller slash horror-ish type movie. It kind of had all of those elements in it. It had addiction, and I mean, it kind of had a little bit of everything in this movie.
This was a random pick for me. I was browsing Amazon Prime for within the horror genre, one of my favorite ones to watch. And I think the cover kind of caught my attention, and this is centralized really around one character with a supporting role. John Cusack is the lead role, and Samuel L. Jackson is one of the supporting characters. The character that plays John Cusack's wife is also another supporting character. So at first I didn't know what he was up to in the beginning of the film. He appeared to be I thought he was a paranormal investigator, only later to find out that he was a writer. And so he would go to these supposed haunted places where people were reporting paranormal activity, and he would debunk them, write about them, and that was his job. And so he was drawn to this other place that spoke about the room 1408. It was infamous for a lot of deaths, just a lot of
suicides.
Yeah. And so he gladly went over there, and they were trying to dissuade him from even checking into that hotel.
Do not go in there. Woo!
But eventually he made his way in. He didn't experience any kind of activity in the beginning, yet it ramped up very slowly to the point where he finally wanted to get out. And then from there, the whole movie became about him understanding what was real and what was not.
And then the twist is you find out that it was all a big setup, that the hotel owner set the whole thing up and it was a big show.
It was real.
But to John Cusack, it felt real.
It was real.
It was not real.
Yeah. They didn't set up, the hotel didn't set up anything. There was, Samuel L. Jackson's character said that there was evil there. That's how he described it. There was no singular entity that was bothering him. It was just the room itself. Oddly enough, 1408 added up to 13, so I think Cusack's character made a reference to that. Some kind of unlucky superstition. So he did a really great job, especially with this only focused around him. I thought he played his part very convincingly, and one of the most moving parts of the film was where he had experienced his daughter's death again, which would be heart-wrenching. So a little bit of history is that he lost his daughter, and that caused him to get into his addiction with alcohol, and he eventually separated from his wife. And what happened while he was in the room was that he was reunited with his daughter. They embraced, they hugged, and she said she missed him, and then she just turned completely into ash, and he broke down in tears. So that was a pretty moving part of the film.
But I think it was necessary because I think it helped him get some closure. Even though it was this evil spirit doing this, I think it really kind of helped him have some closure about her.
And in the end, he ended up getting together with his wife and find out that they got part of the activity recorded on one of his voice recorders, because he would always walk around with his voice recorder to help him with his writing.
And he did kind of tell her what he experienced, and she kind of blew it off like it wasn't, there's no way that could possibly be real. And then when his voice recording tape was sent to him, she heard it and then realized he had been telling the truth the whole time.
The thing on the recording was the voice of his daughter, his encounter with his daughter. So the reason I really like this movie is because he did a great job playing his character and showing all of his emotions. It was a wide range of emotions that he had to go through. I like a lot of these single character movies. It just kind of revolves around them, and they're able to take the audience through what they're going through, what the character's going through. It's a lot of talent.
I would rate this movie an 8 out of 10.
I would also give it an 8. I highly recommend it. It was on Prime. Maybe it's still available on there. Go check it out.
Give it a watch. Thanks for listening to episode 14 of Not Enough Thumbs.